Hi and welcome. This is a Loft demonstration. So when you receive your credentials that we send you in the assigning emails, you're supposed to use Chrome, and you either create a Chrome guest window, you can check how to make one, or you can use also an incognito tab mode. You use the worker ID that is provided to you to log in, or you use the password that we provide you, and you follow the steps required to sign in to Loft 2. Once you sign into Loft 2, we provide you links that are the WDC links. They're written domain convention links that contain rules specific to your language transcription. And on top of it, we provide you also a Loft user guide. This Loft user guide is actually a guide for you to know how to use Loft. And as you can see, it also contains like a direct link to the Loft tool. But basically, you would just need the task links that we send you on your task assigning sheets. So it is recommended that you always keep both the WDC and the user guide open when you are working on the transcription Loft. Because whenever you have some questions or some doubts, you're supposed to go back to these guidelines to see the answer that you need. When you start working on a tool, when you open a task, that's how basically Loft looks like. We have here some kind of like a timer. Here it's the total length of the audio that you're going to transcribe. So in this case, I have 30 seconds of audio. On this button here, you can have direct access to the keyboard shortcuts that are quite useful to use, so if you want to avoid using the mouse. And then in the task info, it gives you again a direct link to the WDC of your language. When you start working on a task, so basically you just click on play and then you start listening to the audio, and then according to what you hear in the audio, you're supposed to create different segments. So let's say that I start playing this audio and then I see so for example, for this segment here, this person doesn't start talking until this time here, the 178 milliseconds, the person starts talking. So I'll create a segment that starts at 178 exactly, like where this person talks. And then I'll create my first speaker one. Then put here the transcription required. I'll be transcribing exactly what this person say as per the writing rules of my language, and following also the rules that I have here in the WDC accordingly. Once I finish transcribing the task of this person, the segment of this person, I will then stop my segment wherever it stops. So it starts at 178, and let's say that it will finish at, let's say, the 30 seconds. Because we know that our segments shouldn't be longer than 30 seconds. So, for example, I will stop my segment at 30 seconds, and then I will save. If a second speaker is talking at the same time as this one, I will have then segments that are overlapping each other. So all I need to do is just create speaker 2, put the transcription of my second speaker 2. Whenever let's say that speaker 2 starts talking at this time, so I'll start my segment from this time, which is the 820. So it starts at 820, and it stops talking up to this point here. When you listen to the audio, the second speaker stops talking here. So it's 3 seconds and 600 milliseconds. So I'll just change this time here. So to 610, and then I'll just save. And in this case, I will have speaker 1 and speaker 2 talking at the same time, overlapping. If during this speech I get to know that my speaker mentions his name or the name of someone with him in the audio. So for example, if the speaker 1 mentions his name, saying, hello, welcome, my name is John. So I will go here and change his name from speaker 1 to speaker John. And then I will click save. Like this, I will update the speaker label accordingly. And then I continue transcribing, and then during the transcription, like the person talking mentions the name of someone that is not a famous, it's not a celebrity, it's just some random name that is not a public figure. So in this case, I'm supposed to put PII as per WDC that we have here. So if I want to put PII, what I'll do is, for example, I'm doing the transcription. I'm saying like, hello, today with me is Mary. Mary is not a public figure, so I will then have to create then a different segment where I will be using then, for example, my speaker 1, and I'll create a PII segment covering that the portion where the name is mentioned. That's for the PII one. And then, yes, we have also another point is if I have, you may also come across tasks that are pre-filled like this one. Usually you will see that the speaker label is blank, so it means this is a pre-filled task. So all you need to do is just remove the existing transcription, and then you just start transcribing from scratch as you would do in a normal situation. And then when you continue, so basically a transcriber task will look like something like this. So you will have the speaker label because this person mentions his name. So we update his speaker label. This person doesn't mention his name, so we just keep it as speaker 2. And then again, this third speaker mentions again his name, so we put the name accordingly, and so on. We have to keep in mind that the speaker numbering keeps the chronological order. So if one of the speaker speaks in the second place, he will keep the second place. Even though we remove the numbers from the other ones, it will keep the number. Like you see it here, for example, we have speaker Mali, and then speaker 2, and then speaker Maxime, and then speaker 4, and so on. Another thing is the pre-recorded speaker. The pre-recorded speaker used in case we have a speech coming from TV or from an ad, an advertisement, or from, like sometimes you have movie or series trailers or some advertisement or some TV show. Like when we listen to the audio, we can't tell if it's a TV show or if it's just a YouTube vlog or something. So if we know it's a movie trailer or something, I'll be using, in this case, I'll be using pre-recorded speaker and then use 1 or 2 or the name of the speaker who's talking. Then I'll put the transcription as normal and so on. The unidentifiable speaker, we use it in the case that we have many people talking, and then at a certain point, I cannot differentiate which one of them actually spoke. Like I hear some words being said by someone, but I cannot tell if it was the speaker 1 or speaker 4 or speaker Henry or which one of them. So in this case, I'll be using the unidentifiable speaker. Again, I'll be writing it. The unidentifiable speaker doesn't take any number or any name because it is unidentifiable. Like we don't know who's the speaker. So in this case, we're not supposed to put any numbers or any name or anything. We just put this label and then we put the transcription that goes with it. Or if, for example, this speaker says something that we don't understand, in this case, we put unintelligible. or if the words that are being said are in another language that is not ours. For example, I'm working on a French audio, and then I get some words that are, for example, in Chinese or in Hindi or any other language that I don't speak. In this case, I'll be putting the foreign speech to the appropriate speaker. So, for example, to speaker 1, and so on. Usually, the words that are, for example, in English and are commonly used in other languages, we don't consider them as foreign language. For example, I'm working on a Serbian project. I'm Serbian. I'm working on a Serbian project, and I get words like hello, how are you, hi, or bye. These are French words, are English words, but are commonly used. So in this case, we transcribe them as normal speech. We don't need to use foreign speech for them. Once we finish transcribing and making sure that the start and end of each one of our segments corresponds exactly to the moment the speaker starts and stops talking. That's one of the things. We have to make sure that the timestamps of each segment corresponds exactly to the speech that is being heard during the audio. Another thing is we have to make sure that we mark all the noises that happen, that anything that is not speech should be also marked with the appropriate annotation. So if we hear laughter, we're going to be using laughter. If we hear noise, we're going to be using noise. If we hear a phone ringing, we'll be using ringtone. If we hear us, like I'm talking and there is some background music at the same time, also we're supposed to mark the music. And same thing also for these annotations, they also should match exactly the period during which they happen. So for example, for this laughter one, it happened from 5 seconds to 6 seconds, so I have to use exactly those times. I have to make sure from my audio, and I have to put them exactly here. If the audio is a little bit too fast, or you want to double check what you're working, you can change here the speed of the audio to make it more slower or more faster, whichever can help you to better improve your work. And the singing, that is actually one of the things that are a little bit confusing, is actually the singing label. So for the singing label, if I have one of the, let's say that one of the speakers that I have in the audio is singing, like the person itself starts to sing or reads poetry. So in this case, I put the label singing. I put the speaker corresponding. So for example, it's speaker 6. And then I will write here whatever this person is singing. So the lyrics of the song that the person is saying, I will transcribe them here. And if there is, so then here, I'll put the lyrics. If this person is singing and there is also music at the same time, I'm supposed then to put the singing with the lyrics and then add an annotation music corresponding to where I'm hearing the music. So there's a difference between singing and music. Music is heard for the actual music that we listen to every day. Singing, you use it when the speaker in the audio is singing himself. So I hope this is clear. If it's not clear, please don't hesitate to send us through Appen Connect tickets, and make sure to mention the name of the projects you're working with, and maybe also the task link, so that also could be helpful sometimes. Like when you have a specific question about a specific task, it's very helpful to have the task IDs. So we can just take the task and then check and then tell you if it should be singing or music or anything else. We will be basically answering your questions accordingly. Once you have finished transcribing a task and everything is correct, the time segments are correct, you have followed the 0.5 seconds rule, like you see, you know that the segment should not be longer than 30 seconds, and if the speaker stops talking for like half a second, we're supposed to stop our segment and starts a new segment whenever the speaker starts again talking. So you have to be very careful about these points. So once you have respected all this, you marked all the sounds, you write all the words correctly, you followed the correct punctuation, like the task is good, there is no more work to be done in it. All you have to do is then change the task status to ready for review. And then us, once we see it as ready for review, we will be reviewing the task, and if there are any mistakes that we see in your tasks, we will be sending you the correction. The corrections will be added directly on your task assigning sheets, where you find, because you will have two tabs. One tab is for the tasks that you will be working on, and another tab will be called corrections, where you will have the corrections of your tasks. Those corrections, you're required to make them directly here in the tool and put again the task as ready for review. I hope this will help you to better understand and clear some points. And if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And thank you for your efforts and for working with us. Thank you.